Okay, and now, if you allow me, I will show you the sketch of a third presentation, which I would have liked to to discuss about with you today. It's just I'll just show you a few images of something that interests me. Is Descartes and architecture and Eisenstein and architecture, and the reason I would have liked to talk about this is because Descartes, René Descartes, the great French philosopher, and Sergei Eisenstein, the great Russian film director, died both on February 11th, but of course years apart. Descartes, generated the word Cartesian. And there is a lot of Cartesian architecture in the world. I'm going to show here, though, a project for a Cartesian, so-called Cartesian house, which is interesting, I think, but it was not built. Is this house, the XYZ house by Axis Mundi? It's a project, the XYZ house by Axis Mundi. And here it is. It's a very abstract proposal. Does it connect with Descartes? I would say it would. It does. Will it be built? I don't know. I imagine it will not be built. But for projections of the mind of the architect, for speculative contemplation, and for discussions, perhaps it's worth looking at it. It can be built, of course, but I don't know if it will be built. I don't even know if the landscape is truly like this. So, by the way of the day when René Descartes died, I thought of showing this project. I could have shown many others, of course, because there is plenty of Cartesian architecture, but what that Cartesian architecture neglects is that actually Descartes was searching for God. And I don't think too many people, when they use straight lines and the three coordinates X, Y, Z, they think of God. I don't think so. As for Le Corbusier, who dedicated a poem to the right angle, Le Poème de l'angle droit, he was rather an alchemist there. And he was. It's an esoteric work. But in both cases, Descartes and Le Corbusier, with his Le Poème de l'angle droit, there are insinuations towards something which is beyond the measurable, that is, towards the spiritual. And yes, Descartes, when he was saying, I think, therefore I am, he was thinking in a way that was forcing, moving beyond the measurable. This is an interesting proposal for a house. Again, this is just a little sketch. You'll see a few more images. Who is this rebellious man, or at least with a rebellious coiffure? This is the great, great, great Russian film director, Sergei Eisenstein. And he was truly great. And he looks great. I mean, if someone looks like a genius, that's him. And he was. Some scenes he worked with montage. And it's interesting to search actually on the web, about his work, because they do have relevance for architecture. And Bernard Tschumi, both Bernard Tschumi and Rem Koolhaas were aware of this. And, at least Bernard Tschumi made explicit references to the art of montage in the films, in the activity of Sergei Eisenstein. Because you could actually do an architecture which assembles through the technique, the method of montage, various fragments in an unexpected way, just as the film director does, as we can see in these images. In fact, yesterday I sent an email to Bernard Tschumi. I told him today is the day when both Descartes and Eisenstein died, and I would have liked to make a presentation on them, but I'm not prepared, I'm still not prepared. But the subject interests me. In what way Descartes, with the rigor of his three coordinates and rectangularity, could meet or meets Sergei Eisenstein, and in what way rectangularity could be dynamic through the art of montage, as suggested to us by Sergei Eisenstein. In other words, in what way or how the static elements of rectangularity could become dynamic. But I think it's possible. Here is again Sergei Eisenstein. He was truly a very interesting man. And as I said, he studied architecture and became a director, a film director. And maybe if he didn't die at 50, he would have created many more very important films. So if you want to remember the face of a genius, I think you will not do wrongly if you remember this face, Sergei Eisenstein. This is what he says, and I think this is relevant to architecture as well. The profession of film director, can and should be such a high and precious one that no man aspiring to it can disregard any knowledge that will make him a better film director or human being. And if we replace here the word director with the word architect, let's see what we get. The profession of an architect can and should be such a high and precious one that no man aspiring to it can disregard any knowledge that will make him a better architect or human being. Thank you.